Hey, Doug Radke here from KRG Hospitality. Today I want to talk about something very important, and that is the elements of acceptance. In fact, I think it is so important that it is something that I devoted an entire chapter to in my new book, Hacking the New Normal. So, first off, what is the definition of acceptance? Well, acceptance is defined as the willingness to tolerate a difficult or unpleasant situation. Now, let that one sink in for a moment. That right there should be the phrase of the year 2020 and maybe even 2021 for many. The other key word in that phrase is the word tolerate, which basically allows the existence and occurrence or practice of something that you do not necessarily like or agree with without interference. Those are all powerful words and definitions. And today, I want to reference the acceptance of change, the acceptance of the quote new normal, and the acceptance of each other's differences. It's no secret, though, that life will bring many challenging situations our way, such as a globalized pandemic, or the death of someone that we love, or an industry that's on the brink of collapse. It's not easy to embrace these challenges when we're suffering and wishing that these scenarios didn't even exist in the first place. However, if we are able to start understanding the premise of acceptance in our lives, there's a good chance that we will more easily cope with not only this crisis, but future situations thrown our way in both our business and personal life. Now, here's the really interesting thing about acceptance. And when you look back at that definition that I said, you can see that acceptance is a choice. A hard one, most definitely, but a choice that you get to make. Practicing acceptance can even prepare you to live in a world where you never know what's going to happen next. Again, this crisis or situation, or however you want to word this will not be the last situation or crisis that we deal with in our lives or in our careers. I actually believe that we could all learn how to identify when it's time to persist in old beliefs and actions or thoughts, and when it's time to accept that they don't benefit yourself, your bottom line, or even others anymore, but to prepare for and identify acceptance in the workplace, in our industry. You first must acknowledge what else exists. There are plenty of difficult situations happening within this industry, maybe even more so now than ever before. And the one thing I am getting at here is culture and diversity, or lack thereof. Outside of restructuring our business models right now, our profit margins, and our mix of guest experiences, a lot of the things that have shifted or pivoted since March of 2020, while all of that is important, we also need to have a close look at the essence of wage structure, plus workplace culture and diversity within this industry. And we have to accept that change here is needed. While there has been significant improvement over the past few years, we are still not quite there yet. It's still not hard to spot bad company culture, even from an outsider's perspective. Thanks to platforms like social media, this makes it easy to know which food and beverage and lodging and entertainment businesses to avoid due to poor culture and lack of diversity. There are still to this day unbalanced shifts, minimal pay, overworked employees, closed doors, and toxic work environments, and ongoing harassment that lead to many unpleasant scenarios. No human deserves to feel isolated or abused or discriminated against or highly stressed simply by going to work. Every single person should have the feeling of waking up and being excited to go to work, representing your brand, being a brand ambassador for you every single day. By opening doors, by showing one another a high level of empathy, by offering help to those in need, by engaging and coming together as a team, or or family in a positive atmosphere, even during the most difficult of times. This is how you can overcome these challenges, and you can do that by making a choice starting right now. In light of this COVID-19 pandemic, there is actually no better time for this industry to collectively hit the reset button on this issue. The path towards acceptance really asks two fairly simple questions. Number one, can this be changed? And number two, if the answer is no, what work needs to be done to make it happen? We can no longer tolerate poor workplace culture or lack of diversity within the workplace. We can no longer tolerate paying staff a non-livable wage. And we can no longer tolerate substance abuse and racism and depression and insomnia and harassment and anxiety and suicide as a result of this industry. We can no longer be stuck in the past as it relates to our people and our talent. Can this all be changed? The answer is yes. Why? Because acceptance empowers growth and change. The real, the here, and the now.